how's it going? I'm Hardleg Joe, as you probably already know, and welcome to a little thing I'm calling the State of the Channel Address. At least that's the current idea. Basically, I thought it'd be nice to do a little video giving you sort of a rundown on what's going on with the channel, what I'm up to as a content person in general, and sort of give you an idea of where things are going in the future. Because I've been getting more questions about it, and as I'm getting slightly bigger as a channel, it's become a little bit more difficult to address all of them. I have addressed all this on the Patreon, though. If you're interested in updates with, oh great, I hit the microphone. I'm getting new microphones soon. It's actually supposed to arrive this weekend, so hopefully stuff like that won't be happening in the future. But yeah, as I was saying, it's if you like updates, if you want to know what's going on in the channel, consider joining the Patreon. The $2 level, I do like weekly updates where I say what content I'm working on, both for the next week and for the next month. And I also give updates on like overarching projects I'm working on the patrons only Discord, which you can get on there just for donating $1, like the smallest amount you can. So if you like the channel and you really like this kind of behind-the-scenes update stuff, consider joining the Patreon. There should be a link down in the description still. And I guess while we're here, before we really get into the updates, I might as well take this time to advertise the other stuff that I've got going on, the other things that I'm working on. Because despite the fact that I bring them up in like almost every video, and on Twitch, I still get people who are constantly surprised to find out that I have like other channels and stuff. So I figure I'll put this in a video, and more people will hopefully watch the video than will see that other stuff. So of course there's the Patreon I just mentioned. I also do have a Twitter, for what that's worth. I don't know, that website feels like it's going down the crapper, so maybe I don't need to advertise that. But if you're interested, while it's still there, you could find, it's Hardleg Gaming, so you could find me pretty easily there. I've also got Twitch. I feel like a lot more people are aware of the Twitch, because I've been doing it for years now, and because The Ladder Climb is basically Twitch highlights compiled together into a show. But if you didn't know, it's twitch.tv/hardleggaming, also link in the description. And if you don't know the schedule, I stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Tuesday and Thursday are the Yu-Gi-Oh! Streams. Sundays are like variety streams. I often end up doing Yu-Gi-Oh! Anyway on those streams, but when I don't, there's like karaoke sometimes, or if people request Legs Plays, I'll do that. There's just whatever. Lots of different stuff happens. And all those streams start around 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time, which is where I'm at. I'm in the Central Time Zone. You'll have to adjust accordingly if you're in another time zone. I guess I don't have to tell you that, but I just like to explain things. That's just what I do. In addition, if you like the idea of seeing, like, live Hardleg rambling on, seeing the unedited Twitch streams, but you don't actually have the chance to tune in live, or you don't like watching live, you prefer to be able to skip the boring bits, I have started a VOD archive channel. It's called Raw Hardleg. We had a vote on Twitter, and that was what they decided, so Raw Hardleg. Again, link down in the description. You could probably find it by searching. And that's every, like, the week after I record my streams, I upload them mostly unedited over there. Occasionally I'll cut out some stuff. I cut out, like, when I go to the bathroom and stuff, because it's just dead air. I'll cut out, like, when I play a song at the beginning of the stream. You know, if you're interested in that, go check it out. In addition, I've got a literature channel that a lot of people don't know about, where I have like a podcast where I talk about books and stuff. It used to be like a monthly book club thing, but it never really took off. But turns out books aren't that popular these days. Either that or just, I'm not a very good podcaster. Hard to say, hard to leg. But if you like that kind of stuff, I do still upload there occasionally. I get requests. Me and MBT just did a Halloween episode on The King in Yellow, which is like some proto-Lovecraftian stuff, but French. You could check that out. Again, there's not going to be regular content over there, but we're still uploading occasionally, and in 2023, we're at least going to have 4 uploads. There was a famous Kickstarter last year for an author called Brandon Sanderson, where he wrote 4 books, and he was going to publish them if the Kickstarter succeeded. It'll be one every 3 months, and those are coming out next year. And me and my buddy CB Radio, we bought into the Kickstarter, so we'll be getting those books, and we'll be reviewing those. So you'll get at least 4 episodes next year. Maybe more if people request stuff, or if we find other books that we like, or if that channel takes off for some reason. But it's still not really my focus. It's really something that's just kind of done for fun. And if you want to tune in, you can, but I'm not really concerned with growing that channel or making money on it or anything. But one channel I am interested in growing, though, is the politics channel, which is just called Hardleg. Just no gaming involved in that one. It's a little bit more difficult to search on YouTube, but again, there's a link in the description. I think if you type in Hardleg Politics, you should be able to find it. I've talked about this a few times. I talk about it on stream quite a bit. But if you're unfamiliar with my whole philosophy around politics, I think it's something that, like, everyone should know a little bit about. I'm very big in, like, democracy and everyone helping out to make decisions. And I made this channel to sort of talk about that in a very down-to-earth way. There's a lot of politics channels that are either, like, they're really detached, they try to make it comedic, or they try to make it overly artistic with a bunch of, like, skits and animation and stuff. Either that, or they're just, like, manipulative. They try really hard to, like, make you angry or make you sad. There's, like, a guy who's gonna rant at you and yell a lot, or a guy who will say his opinions mixed in with actual facts. And I wanted to make something that was a lot more chill, that appealed to people who maybe didn't know a whole lot about politics. It's not the most exciting channel or anything, but it's pretty educational, pretty informative, and I think I like to feel I do a pretty good job of being like, okay, here's the actual information about the topic, and then here's what I have to say personally about it. Here's my opinion. And if you want to disregard that latter half, that's fine. The first half could maybe learn you a thing or two. And really, that's kind of where my passion has been the last year or two. That's the thing I'm, like, super interested in doing. I'm hoping maybe in 2024 to do that more regularly. Maybe see if I can get a video out every other week. But scripting and editing for that one is kind of hard. But yeah, enough about all my other projects. That's probably not what you came here for. You came to hear about the Yu-Gi-Oh! You came to hear about this channel, and probably specifically the Chaos Draft and Season 4 and where that's at. Because unlike a lot of the other progression series out there, I didn't immediately start the next season after the previous one ended. And in the previous 2 seasons, generally there was only like a month or 2 break, and then I started up again, and now it's been a month or 2, and there's still no Chaos Draft 4 on the horizon. And that's for a number of reasons. The main one is just that doing the show weekly was more tiring for me than I could really handle. I could still do it, but I really kind of did need a break after just recording every single week and a new deck profile and new pack openings, and not really being able to take a break or anything with that, just constantly scheduling it out was kind of tiring. I honestly don't see how Simo can do so many shows at once. Especially just, like, trying to get it organized with everyone. Maybe if I had someone else to help me with it, or more editors or something like that, but just doing most of it by myself ain't easy. So that's part of it, just that I was tired. Another part is, I feel like it needed time to build up hype. You need to give people time to miss you before you come back, if you know what I mean. I really don't think that running the Chaos Draft over and over again, I think if I did that, it would get boring, or it would get stale. I kind of like the fact that maybe there's going to be a longer break, and then when it comes back, it'll be a big triumphant thing with, like, a new intro and all new assets and new rules, new co-host, everything. And that's part 3, is I still need a co-host for Season 4. I really haven't been the most outgoing person on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Tube sphere. I'm kind of a weird loner guy who doesn't go to the YCSs and doesn't really socialize all that much. So I really just kind of knew Dual Logs and MBT, and once they had both been in a show, I didn't have anyone else to bring on. So I've been trying to sort of reach out, get to know people more, experiment with some more content creators, do more crossovers, which is what you've been seeing with the DBC, the NR Tribal series. Or maybe you haven't been seeing it, because those videos haven't been doing as well. Maybe I should have started with, like, bigger names. So far, I've been bringing on smaller channels, channels that are either smaller than mine, or, in the case of Chaotic Meatball, he's mostly known for, like, Pokemon stuff. So maybe those names didn't bring some people on. I'm hoping to get bigger names as we get sort of closer to the holidays. So that's my plan, really. Just spend the rest of this year doing crossovers, round out the NR Tribal, try every single type, and then once it rolls over to, like, January, start planning for Season 4 of Chaos Draft. Start talking to people, start getting things ready, start getting, like, an intro made, and perhaps even some custom assets, and getting all the... We're thinking about maybe doing some stuff with custom packs, too. There's a lot of stuff for Chaos 4 that's sort of on the back burner that we'll get to working at once the holidays are over. And then, if all goes well, you can expect that maybe February or March. I don't know, February is a weird month and also a short month, and usually I take a break in February, like a little mini vacation or something. So we'll see, but if not February, then at March by the latest. And then the plan from there, right, is 20 weeks or so of Chaos Draft. If all goes well, it'll go from March back into September again, and you'll have the whole spring and summer of this one continuous series building up to, hopefully, a grand finale. Unless I just get completely blown out. So far, the series has been pretty good about having strong enough catch-up mechanics that even if one player is down, they can come back, and it ends up being pretty evenly matched. And then if I finish it by the time fall, then next year I can do the exact same thing. I can go back, make a chance to reconnect with more people, do a whole bunch of other DBCs, and then get ready for Season 5. And in that way, I think the Chaos Draft will distinguish itself, because where a lot of other progression series are just sort of like, you know, adding a number onto the end, which, not something you super want to do on YouTube. Having, like, a numbered series is usually kind of bad, because people will see the 2 or the 3 or the 4, and assume that they have to watch the first one in order to get it, and they won't check out something. They won't check out a part 2 if they haven't seen part 1. So you don't get a lot of new viewers with that. But if we have, like, a, you know, Chaos Draft 2024, and that's that year's season, and then next year in 2025 there's a season, and 26, and so on and so forth, it'll not only make every season feel unique, but there'll be a sense of, like, hype and build-up, getting prepared for the season. It'll make it more kind of like a TV show, as far as, like, you know, the episodes come out during a certain time, and then it's back into the lab for a while you prepare for the next season. Of course, I don't know how well that will work. The DBCs, as I kind of mentioned, aren't really doing all that well. I thought that crossovers would be more popular, but just not really working. Maybe I'm not advertising very well. Maybe the new DBC logo is scaring people off. Maybe I've just got too much of a reputation. People know what the old DBCs were like, and they don't want to check out the new ones. Which I guess if you haven't checked out the newer deck build challenges, any of the NR Tribal ones, they've been significantly increased in production value. And yeah, if that turns out to be an awful idea, if, like, all my views tank over the next couple months, and then Season 4, instead of being met with, like, a lot of anticipation, gets met with, like, oh, this is still going on, then maybe next year I'll probably just go back to, like, trying to run Season 5 after Season 4, just having the numbers. But that's my plan for now, and that's my plan going into 2024. And aside from the Chaos Draft, everything else I think will stay roughly the same. I'm still liking the weekly stream schedule. I can keep up with that. It's nice. It's fun. The ladder climb is doing really well as a successor to the What a Deck. That's continuing on. And I don't think I'm going to change a whole lot about that, although I'll get to that a little bit later. Or actually, you know what? I'll just cover it now. I had a little, bullet points of stuff I was going to cover, and I was going to do at the end a thing where I asked y'all a bunch of questions. I guess I'll just move it up now. Fuck it. We're doing it live. But yeah, one idea I had with the ladder climb that I wanted to see what my audience thinks is splitting it in half, essentially. Have a part 1 and a part 2. If you don't know, those are usually, it's 6 streams worth of material. So I could easily do, the first 3 streams and have, building the deck, pulling the cards, trying to get out of platinum, or trying to get out of gold if I had to start in gold, and have that be the first half, and then the second half be more of a, grudge climb into diamond. Because I've been noticing that, the first half of the video is kind of different from the second half. And, also those videos are, 2 hours long, even when we try to cut them down a lot. So maybe having 2 one-hour videos a month instead of 1 2-hour video might be better? I don't know, people always seem to like the longer videos. My most popular videos are the longest ones. So, maybe I should just keep them long. But I figured I'd ask you all, because you're the fans, you would know. While I'm asking questions, do y'all want some shirts? Would you like some Hardleg shirts? I occasionally get people asking me about that. I made shirts on, Teespring a couple years back at this point, but it uses the old logo design that's kind of outdated. It doesn't have the black and rainbow one, which I think looks a lot better. And I've been thinking about updating those. But, I'm not sure if there's really, a subsection of people who really want a shirt that's just the Hardleg logo on it. It feels really boring to me. So if you want those, let me know. I'll see if I can get some of those, maybe even get them up before Christmas. I also want to look into, when I first did the Teespring thing, I just kind of chose whatever was available, as far as, what company I partner with. And, as I've been learning more about economics and business and stuff, I found out that a lot of t-shirt companies are really shady and unethical, and I'd probably want to partner with a better t-shirt company. But that would also be more expensive t-shirts, almost certainly, and I wouldn't want to make t-shirts that, only wealthy people could enjoy. That doesn't seem to be, a productive use of time or resources. So I'd have to look into both of those things. But let me know if you're interested. I'll see if I can do something. Or maybe a Hardleg hat. Something like this, but with a Hardleg symbol on it. That would be cool. And that's really all of the specific questions I have for you. I do have a more general question, just is there anything you'd like to see? Is there anything you'd like more of on the channel? Less of? Anything you'd want to change? I've been spending the last year doing a lot of trying to appeal to a wider audience, trying to appeal to a new audience. And I worry sometimes that I'm alienating some of you diehard fans who have been here for a while. It's always hard as a content creator trying to please the existing audience and still get new audience, not falling into a niche. So I just want to take this opportunity to be I will read every comment on here. I mean, I read most of the comments anyway, but I'll be more thorough and I'll take them more to heart. If you watch this far into the video and there's something that you're actually concerned about or something that you would like to see, let me know and I'll see what I can do. And then finally, to wrap this all up, I had asked my patrons on Discord if they had any questions, any pressing questions about the channel or me in general or what's going on with it. I mean, they could ask those questions at any time because they're on the Discord, but I figure that would be a good idea, a good gauge of what the rest of y'all wanted to hear about. And they had just a couple of really small ones, and I guess I might as well cover those real quick. So one person asked, who does my editing now? Because for the longest time it used to be Winkler, and I had mentioned them in videos a lot more, and unfortunately they had a more pressing life stuff. I don't want to get into it because they were kind of private about it, and it's something personal, but they didn't have time to edit anymore. They had to go work on something else. and I just haven't heard from them since, really. I hope they're doing well. But since then, I've mostly fallen into Jules, who is mostly known as MBT's editor. She's the one who did most of Chaos Draft Season 3, and will probably be doing Chaos Draft Season 4. She occasionally does some deck build challenges for me, and she fills in on the ladder climb when Civet can't do it. Civet is the guy who mostly he's done more of the ladder climbs. He's also a content creator. If you're unaware of him somehow, he's much bigger than me. He used to do Yu-Gi-Oh! Style content, and now he makes more like general gaming content and also a little bit of like anime, manga stuff. So he's the editor on the ladder climb. Jules is the editor for Chaos Draft. I've also worked with Dyer. I had them do one video. It was on the, what's it called? The Deck Architect series. And they're really cool. They get stuff done really fast. But I don't have a whole lot of budget for a third editor at the moment. But who knows? Maybe more Dyer in the future. Hard to say, hard to leg. Really depends if the ad revenue kicks up. That's... At this point, it's like, the Patreon is what I live on, and then the ad revenue is what I use to pay the editors. So if the ad revenue goes up, then I can afford to hire more editors, and if it goes down, then I have to edit myself more. Let's see, other than that, someone asked if I'm going to bring What a Deck back, or if I plan to bring it back now that I've moved over to Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega. Which, if you don't know, I've started using that as my testing ground instead of Edo Pro, mostly just because it looks a lot nicer, it's a lot fancier. I feel like Edo Pro doesn't really hold up now that we've got Master Duel. People will tune in to an Edo Pro thing, and it just looks so bare and so stripped down, and there's so little customizable about it, that it's just not really interesting to watch. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega has a lot more in terms of animations and backgrounds and everything. And that's probably what Chaos Draft Season 4 is going to be on Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega. Hopefully with like a custom background if I can get one made or find someone who can make one. And in addition to all of that, they also have a ranked ladder that you can climb on, which would make something like What a Deck a lot easier to do, because there's more people there, I can get a more consistent challenge. But so far, I'm really liking the ladder climb. I find that's... As much as I kind of miss being able to play like a new deck every other week, that also had sort of like a rat race feel to it, where I'm always like learning a deck and then discarding it and trying something new. I really like being able to sit down and spend like a whole month on a deck, even if that means missing out on a bunch of other stuff. And finally, someone asked if I'm going to bring Arms Race back. If you don't remember Arms Race, that was the card game that I had made. I showed it off, I believe, last Christmas, or I showed it off on MBT's Subathon. I brought it and we played that. I had made it on Tabletop Simulator, made a couple decks, designed several cards with it. I was really into it for a while, and then the Politics channel picked up a lot more, and also interest for it kind of felt like it dried up. There were only a handful of people willing to help test and everything, and I just didn't have as much motivation to work on it. But recently I got a message from someone who, in the past year, has just been secretly working on making a program from scratch, like a .exe of Arms Race that they can hopefully practice and duel against other people, and they're hoping to find other people to help them work on it. They just joined my Discord. They've got an open call to other programmers, and you know, I'm open to it. If there are people working on it, I could definitely come back and design more cards and help out with the game design elements of it, and maybe even if it gets big enough, start commissioning art and stuff. Right now, the program is like early alpha. There's still no artwork on the cards. It's still just text. And I believe it's not the most stable program at the moment. But who knows? You know, you never know where the future will take you. I'm always willing to work on projects, especially if there's other people willing to work alongside them. It's just a matter of finding the time for all of it. But yeah, speaking of time, I think my time's just about up. I've been rambling here for about an hour, which is a lot longer than I expected to. Hopefully I can edit this out and get it up real quick so that you can all enjoy it and everything, because I've got a lot of other stuff to work on. Lots of other... Getting all these crossovers sorted out with everyone else's time schedules has been really tricky. And November in general is kind of a tricky month. And you gotta renew your, insurance in November. I've gotta get new insurance in this case, because for personal reasons, I've gotta get new insurance. That's the important part. I've got to weatherproof parts of the house. I've gotta vote. I've gotta get ready for the holidays and buy gifts and everything. That on top of just all the normal stuff I'm doing. So, hopefully this should at least, this nice little filler content help fill things up, give you an idea of what I'm doing, what I'm thinking. As always, I want to thank y'all for subscribing, for watching. I hope you enjoy what I've got planned in the future, what I've got hidden up my sleeve and everything. And I think that's about it. Thank you. And as always, good luck and have fun.